Yeah, what's up? What's up? This is Misha Davidson, aka Mishdiesel, Mishdiesel, the Verhat Assassin, the original Ishmaster, from the dirty District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., Babylon capital, Baby Cat. Right now we're chilling in Tompkins Square Park, where the East Village meets Alphabet City and the Lower East Side. And my principal instrument is keyboard, but I'm a producer. So yeah, man, I write original music, I play keys, I DJ. I started my own production company, Russ Boy Productions, in 2004, you know, because you got to keep the business tight. You know, I'm in New York trying to build my business now, try to break into the world of music licensing and placing. Got a lot of music I've written, you know, I'm trying to forge outlets for it, be able to get money doing that, and produce artists, work with people that inspire me. Live life, you know, music to me is like, it's its own dimension, it's another dimension, it's like space and time. And music is something that exists, you know, it's in the atmosphere at all times. It's like surfing, like, you know, you catch a wave, sometimes it's a wave of inspiration. Music is something that's out there and just a matter of tapping into it. You know, that's why it's universal, everyone feels it, you know. It's very rare that you actually find someone who doesn't like music or could really care less about it. You know, it's very uncommon. It plays a very important role in people's lives because it's essential, you know, to us as organisms. So, me, you know, I can access that, I tap into it. And through my arsenal of skills, you know, I'm a classically trained pianist. I'm a student of jazz. You know, I'm a lover of all kinds of music. I'm a hip-hop head. I'm a live musician, you know, I come up from a background where go-go and hardcore were both in the air a lot. I'm just, you know, in awe of the power of music, and I'm like addicted to it. So I'm trying out here to do what I can to be able to be as involved in it as possible and involved with what drives me and what inspires me, you know, and not be caught up in, I think things that are less important than that, you know. A lot of us as artists, as people, have a natural inclination to dream, and that, you know, our imagination is, it's like our earliest plaything, you know, and to a point where we can't remember. I don't ever remember a time in my life, and I have some memories that, you know, when I was still a toddler, really. But, you know, kind of your ability to imagine. And what's amazing with production and artistry is you take that imagination and somehow, through a process, you turn it into something that, you know, you manifest into something that's real. Even if it's something that disappears once it's out there. Like, keep in mind that recorded music hasn't existed much more than 100 years. And that until, you know, the turn of the century, when you know, recordings, you know, began to exist, music only existed in a live and ephemeral form, in its fleeting form. As soon as that music goes out there, it's surrendered to the atmosphere, you know, never to be heard again. Those notes are gone forever until you could record it and then play it back, that same performance over and over. You know, there's no limitation to art. At the same time, there's, you know, nothing that's really original, but it's new interpretations or an old idea, and you're flipping it for today, you know. So, you know, I'm really, because of that, fascinated by a lot of these visceral experiences and life and around people. And I feel strongly influenced by, it's something I think about a lot because it's something that you don't want to generalize on, and I don't want to sound, I don't want to sound pretentious, but I don't want to sound redundant or kind of, I don't know, something I don't want to really be painting with too broad strokes, but it's something that changes for me every day. Like, you know, a major influence for me, you know, first, you know, it comes from something greater, you know, and you take that however you want it. And then from, you know, for me, in my case, you know, and I think all our cases, from our families, you know, from which we came. And in my case, you know, my dad is from Kansas, my mom is from Moscow. So I have an interesting set of influences, but there's always been a very kind of the existence of the Russian influence in my life is, you know, it's pretty much, it's half of who I am. And that's not to say that, you know, as Russian blood, you know, because actually I'm, on that side I'm Jewish and Montenegrin, but that's like, it's the other side of the world, in a way, is just like this side of the world. When we talk about being American, and what we're really talking about is, you know, the North and South American landmass, you know, and you can't go to South America and they ask you where you're from, and you say, I'm from America. They're gonna say, I'm from America too. So that's what happens if you say that. This is a huge part of the globe, and we, as Americans, represent all cultures. And to me, I have this kind of double heritage, and the Russian influence is very, very ingrained in me, I believe, and I think you can hear that in some of my music, you know, that kind of the Russian melancholy and the harmony and the instrumentation. And these are things that were fostered in me, like, you know, from the cradle and from the crib to, you know, listening to records and when you're taking a nap, and then ingraining to you know, my lifelong training and my pursuit of this music is something that's inside of me. As far as Russian music goes, there's amazing catalog of sheer genius, which is completely distinctive. When you look like a composer like Mussorgsky, who, although was untrained, you know, breaking all the rules of Western theory and harmony and all conventions, wrote some of the most distinctive and captivating and, you know, just visual, you know, pictures at an exhibition. You know, he's written music that is actually pictures, and it's haunting, and also sometimes very, very comical. So music embodies the full range of human emotion and the spirit, and it can go beyond that. It can be supernatural, and you can elevate and transcend through it. With Russian stuff, that's my vibe. That's like my, you know, kind of my not so secret ingredient. That's what makes me different. You know, my own, of all of us, our unique experiences. Like, that's a major part of mine, and you know, I think it manifests itself in the music. I think it manifests itself in me as a person. Not all the work I do is music. I do sound design, I do editing, you know, I do educational work as well. It's not just Russian. You're a Bohemian, you're from Washington, you're a musician, you're from an area that has a, you know, rich black history. You know, you're in New York, you know, you're Montenegrin, you're Jewish, your dad's from Kansas. You're laid back but very hardworking, you know, so for me, I naturally feel good most of the time, you know, and I'm really happy to be like that, because a lot of people have it really tough out there, and it's no fault of their own, really. You know, you never know what wiring you're gonna come in, you know, is gonna come in the box, or you know what you're getting. You know, it's not entirely up to you. It's not really up to you at all. Certain things are up to you, though. So I try to stay positive and you know, smile a lot, laugh, crack jokes with my friend, to not take shit too serious, and you know, at the same time, it's a tough thing to juggle, because the artist and producer, the artist and businessman, the musician and CEO, these are oftentimes a conflict of interest internally, because the artist in you wants, you know, kind of desires this freedom to live and create and go about it naturally, and you know, let your spirit, you know, do the guiding, and it's a magical experience. And the businessman has no time for any of that, and you know, you need to get done, you need to get on the grind, you need to get that worm, you need to get that guap, you need to make sure you're not getting played, you know what I mean? Like, people out there trying to carry you. You gotta be ready for all that, and it's been a rocky journey, you know, but I'm good, you know, so I think I'm doing all right, but I'm still like looking way down there at the horizon, like that's where I need to get to. And I've been looking at that for a long time, before I even knew it, before I knew that this was what I was gonna pursue in my life. You know, I think it was even back then, you know, things that our dreams are made of.